Hey guys, it's Louise. Um, this video is going to show you a couple of my playing cards. I don't have that many, as opposed to the Tarot de Marseille decks, but I wanted to show you those. I had a spark of good energy from last night. Oops. Sorry about the shaking camera. Spark of good energy from last night when I participated in the first lesson by Camilla Elias on reading playing cards. It was a playing cards reading foundation course on reading playing cards, and it just began last night. And it was such a thrill. And I really enjoyed it. So I thought, well, let's just start this quest by actually showing the few playing cards I do have at the moment. I'm waiting for others to arrive very soon. Yeah, let's have a look. This is the Bumble Bee that I just got yesterday, actually, because I thought it was like really cute. You see the bees all over. Let's have a look. This is by can you see that? The Illusionist Playing Card Company, made in the USA. Made in USA. Okay, so Bumble Bee, local and naturally sweet playing cards. Bees make the whole world sweet. So I just set aside the, like Beemageddon. Oh yeah, listen to this. 10 million hives or heaves or ives, I don't know how you pronounce that, wiped out in the past 6 years. You need to see bees exactly the same as crops. Bees are more necessary to growing food than tractors are. We are dependent on their ability to pollinate the food we need to eat. Completely dependent. Yes. They donate 10% of profits to honeybees everywhere, which is really cool because this is a huge problem. And then we have the jokers. Ooh, oh, they're so slippery. I'm not used to slippery cards. I'm used to Tarot de Marseille, old-fashioned cardstock. So this is really, quite an experience. The dwindling honeybee is vital as a pollinator. That's the one joker, and the next one. A third of all plants we eat have been pollinated by bees. Cool, isn't it? Okay, and so, well, backs are like this, like the outside of the box. Oh, it says "What a buzz!" Oh, I love that. Naturally smooth. Isn't that just? Bees are beautiful. Oh God, I love that. So you see the backs. You see the bee hive or heave or eve or whatever it's called. Oh my goodness, this is really difficult for me. Pardon. Bear with me. So the pips are a little bit, scruffy, and you can tell that the colouring is a bit uneven and old-fashioned, and I like that. And then we have, I hope there's not a glare, is there? No, it's all fine. And here we have the jack. And you see there's a little bee flying here, which is so cute. I like the faces. And I like the sort of hand-drawn quality of the pips. And here we have a queen, the bee flying away from the flower, keeping up the entire ecosystem. balanced, a bit faded colours. Oh god, this nail polish is so old, but I quite like that. And in contrast to the nail polish, this seems very faded. So maybe it wasn't exactly the best colour to show you next to those cards. But anyways, I really, oh, this is lovely. Here we have a King of Hearts with a lot of bees on his beautiful cloak thing. Cloak, actually. You see his tiny hands there. Jack of Spades. Great moustache. Jack of Diamonds. Let's have a little bee here. In the middle of everything. And it says bee here. Right. Queen of Clubs. So that was the one deck. Saying hi, King of Diamonds. That was the one deck, and I really, really like this. As I said, it's a bit difficult for me to deal with those very slippery small cards, but I will get used to it. Oh yeah, the Ace of Spades. Have to see that, isn't it gorgeous? Collective. So, those were the Bumble Bee playing cards. And next one is, that's actually going to, well, that's this one, playing cards. And I got two because I realised after buying them that, in fact, they're different. There is a pink version and a blue version. So I'm not sure whether, because this version is like this, with the pink backs, I've got some jokers here. Actually really cool. Cheeky. Beautiful blues. And again, you see the very sort of uneven sketchings here. I really like that. And then we have the courts, which is like, here we have the Queen with a little cat, Queen of Diamonds, and it says Jack on her tattoo. Can you see that? Well, maybe you can't, but I assure you it says Jack. And here, it's like a chill. Here she's allergic to cats. And so all the courts have this double, okay, a guy listening to something that is just really hurting his ears, and then here we have the other king shooting like this children's rifle. So they're quite hilarious. One sleeping, and then my daughter says that this is actually what is that? It's not a flute, but it's something that is a whistle. It's a whistle. So he's waking up this other guy. They're hilarious, and I like the colourings. So the spades are bluish in colour, and hearts, of course, are red. Hitting him with the cork thing, and yeah, reds, blue, spades, and what else? Oh yeah, clubs are greenish, emerald greenish, watering the other king. And Jack, and the and the diamonds are sort of purple, rosy. No, not rosy, but sort of purple and cherry coloured. Lovely. Jack maybe even. So I really like those as well. They're really funny. And so I thought I'd just open this one to see what the other one is. This is from, oh sorry, I didn't tell you. This is from a Danish company called Søstrene Grenes. Can you see it spelled somewhere? Oh yeah, here. Søstrene Grenes. All over the world, it says. I don't know if they're all over the world, but they might be. Anna and Clara. Anna and Clara's playing cards. They cost like, yeah, less than €1, less than $1, I guess. 0.94 euros, which is ridiculous. And actually, I don't like I don't like the thought of what the people in the last, at the end of the food chain, so to say, how they were paid and how their working conditions were. When you think of how far those came, how far they went, from China, I think. Yeah, I think they're from China. Yeah, it says on the back. So those are blue, emerald, and exactly the same, I guess, on the front. Yeah, they're exactly the same. So it's just the backs being different. Yeah. Well, so that was it. And last but not least, my favourite. This is a playing card deck, or actually it's 2 playing card decks that was made by a Danish artist called Bjørn Wiinblad. Bjørn Wiinblad, I'll show you, maybe it says inside, no, because you can't read this, but anyway, and I love his art. It's he's like a really, I'm sure that some would disagree and that some would really agree with me when I say that he's a kind of national Danish icon when it comes to art. So we have 2 decks, and one is sort of greyish and one is it's clear blue, and they're very beautiful, the backs. Oh god, it's always so detailed, and when you look into it you can see people playing trumpets and all kinds of things. Really lovely. So we have the jokers. Aren't they beautiful? So cheerful and just fantastic. Bjørn Wiinblad was very inspired by the Orient, and in a way, yeah, you can say that he was actually exoticizing the Asian cultures and Middle Eastern cultures and so on. But on the other hand, well, I think he made some amazing prints and pieces of oops, where are you? There. Sorry. Well, he was doing all kinds of things, huge gobelins for balls and tea sets and puzzles and, yeah, playing cards, tons of paintings and tables and vases, what have you. I think I might do a little video about him because it's he was an extraordinary person. And this deck is from 1982, and sometimes you might be able to find it on eBay. It's so wonderful. Look at those colours. That little bird. That is gorgeous. I love them. and those are from mice that I've already used. Those are from my childhood, and I had those, you know, always. So those two particular decks really mean quite a lot to me. And although they are a little bit scruffy, do you say scruffy? And a little bit used, you know, and the chipping a bit and all, but that's exactly what makes them so lovely. This one is exactly the same, it's just the backings that differ. I just so love them. I mean, the colours, oh god. Yeah, so that was supposed to be a really short video. I'm sure it's not under 10 minutes. It's probably a lot more than that. But guys, thank you for watching, and take care. Ciao.